So I first found out that I had developed epilepsy when I was 15 years old. Like many teenage boys, I was at home playing Madden football video game, woke up on the carpet with a pool of blood around my mouth. So that was the start of the disease. After a few years, everything was going okay with my medication, not a lot of issues. I was able to drive again, was able to go to university and live a pretty normal life. And then it's got to a point where I started having quite a few seizures, and then leading up to my wedding, where 2 weeks before my wedding I had a seizure that caused me to fracture my humerus, dislocate my shoulder. I had to get 9 pins and a bone graft and a plate put into my arm. So unfortunately I got married with a sling. You know, once you go through something traumatic like that at one of your most important moments of your life, you know, that's when the wheels started spinning, like, what are the alternatives? Is there a better option to try and find a more permanent solution? And at that point, that's when I started looking into surgeries and all the initial testing leading up to the surgery that came with it. So to, you know, get to the point of having a surgery to, you know, hopefully rid yourself of epilepsy for the rest of your life, you have to go through a series of tests. So the first series of tests I did was through the seizure monitoring unit, where, you know, they try and provoke you to have multiple seizures to identify which part of your brain is causing the issues. Once again, I was in hospital, had 1 seizure while I was doing this testing, dislocated my shoulder again through a seizure. The doctor said that was enough, and they sent me on my way home. So they only had 2 seizures worth of data to identify this. So there's a machine called a MAG, and there's only, I believe, 1 or 2 in Canada. The one closest to Calgary is Toronto. So I had to fly out to Toronto to get this testing done. And at that point, the neurologist deemed that there was enough data to go through a generally riskless surgery to alleviate my epilepsy. There's a great volunteer program at the hospitals that Derek Payne runs, where he comes around and visits patients who are, you know, kind of alone and lost, let's say, in these units. People are trying to relate to others who have gone through this, but sometimes it's difficult. So it's really beneficial to have someone like Derek who comes and visits patients, you know, just having someone to talk to. I mean, someone who's been through this before. That was a huge help in my journey.